pending home sales reporting in October, the lowest ever reporting since 2021. Meanwhile, active listings up 6%, another record for this time of the year. At the same time, rates predicted to decrease throughout next year, and home prices predicting to increase. Man, the data is all over the place. How's it going to go in 2024? And what are the things we should be doing, preparing now to make sure we have the best year possible in 2024? Hey everyone, it's Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker, and it is the holiday season. Everybody's in a great mood. Everybody's in a festive mood. Got our Black Friday shopping done, getting our holiday stuff up. But I know every time this time of the year, what comes next is January and February, where it's back to the reality of being back in the market with higher rates, lower inventory, affordability not that great. And the things that we're doing now, or for sure the things that we're putting in place and thinking about, are going to make a big difference throughout 2024. So what are the things, at least that the data says, that we should be thinking about and doing to prepare for 2024? Well, let's start by looking at this article from Redfin saying that new listings post the biggest annual uptick in over 2 years. And what they're talking about is right here, new listings up 5.8% nationally. But what they don't talk about, and I've seen a couple videos on this, active listings down nationally, pending home sales down nationally. And it's not that surprising that we would be getting a little bit of buildup of inventory. Central Florida is still under 4 months, because if affordability is not great, rates are still high, and there's not a lot of homes getting on the market. But now the homes that are coming on the market aren't getting bought, especially this time of the year where a lot of markets are slower. We should be getting a small build of inventory, which we are. But does that really mean anything? And that's the more important question. And I would say no. And why is that? Is because interest rates predicted to fall throughout next year. Inventory not predicted to go up meaningfully, prices predicted to go up. And as those rates fall, all the activity that's not happening now because people, are payment driven, it's going to get pushed into the future. We're going to get more demand, we're going to get more people buying, going to get price increases, and it's going to be harder for first-time home buyers, but it will create more activity in the market. And so all that extra inventory is just going to start to go down. And I think that's a theme you're going to see play out through next year. Another interesting article that I thought was really interesting was this article from Resi Club saying that 10 housing markets expected to see the most home buyer migration in 2024. And if you look right here, Sacramento, California, which I was surprised, predicted to be number 1, but Orlando predicted to be number 3. And we know that for sure in Central Florida because a lot of people, and this says right here, the top people that are coming to Orlando are from New York, and I find that true with the loans that we're doing for people in New York. And these are the people that are going, the areas that have the most outflows. And again, of course, San Francisco and New York City right at the top. What makes that interesting to me is nobody can pick what market they're in, where they're at, and nobody can actually control where you're at, what happens. But it just shows all markets are different. And if you're in Central Florida, we happen to be, in my opinion, one of the greatest markets in the nation. Great weather, great place to live. No state income tax. And even though affordability has gotten worse here, people still want to come here because Florida is a great place to live. With that being said, there are a lot of headwinds I think that we should pay attention to 2024. And I had somebody say something really interesting to me that I had to think about. They said, Rayce, you are kind of downplaying all these things, especially NAR and some of the big things that could happen down the road. And I kind of thought about that, and my response to that would be, 1, how do you prepare for a hurricane? We live in Florida. We know all about that. You cannot control if a hurricane hits. You can buy water and extra food, pray the power doesn't go out. But what we don't do is quit our job and do all kinds of crazy things, because if the hurricane hits, the best thing we can do is be prepared. And I find the hurricane hardly ever hits, right? Housing prices were supposed to fall. They never did. Inflation was supposed to go crazy. It never happened. Rates could get up to 10%. It didn't happen. And so all of these predictions rarely come true. But even if they do, if the NAR lawsuit comes in, things get revamped, it probably won't be where there's going to be no buyer's agents. But if the hurricane hits, the best we can do is be prepared. How can you be prepared? Is be financially sound. Revolving debt, a lot of these things are going through the roof. There could be recession next year. And there's opportunity in every market. But there's an old saying that I like to say that when you're broke, you're desperate. And when you're desperate, you're stupid. And so we don't want to become stupid, because whatever the market is, your competition is getting out, because not everyone can sustain to stay in the market as a realtor as transactions have fall from 6.5 million to 3.8 million. Meanwhile, there's agents that are having record years. And the better you are financially, the better you can withstand any storm. And so if you're looking for what can you do to be ready, is just put your financial house in order. And that's what you want to do so you can stay in the business. Because if you look on our graph from any time there's been any type of market correction, say 2008, once we got past that, the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years were some of the most profitable of all time. And that right now is when I see people getting out of the market, is right when they really need to be moving forward. So how do you stay in the market? I've been saying Wayne Gretzky, famous hockey player, says, play the puck where it's going. I'm going to change that. I've said that a few times. I actually think that's a big mistake. And I like to correct things that I say. When I think back later, I'm like, is that good advice? Because we really don't know where the puck is going. And I think there's a lot of problem with agents and real estate people and mortgage people, insurance people saying, as soon as the market changes, we're going to start doing better again. The fact is, we don't know where the puck is going. Play the puck where it's at, because that's all we know. And the people that are playing the puck where it's at are doing really, really well. The people that are waiting for the market to get better, how they're waiting is they're getting out of the business. So, and the last thing I will say, and this may sound counterintuitive, but I'll say that the people that embrace the grind are going to win. And if you're going to say, I would say, like, why do I want to grind? That sounds like not a lot of fun. So let's look at the definition of grind. Grind, a dreary, monotonous, or difficult labor, study, or routine, or one who works or studies excessively. I will say the people that embrace the grind are going to win. If you were going to have brain surgery, God forbid, the last thing you would want to have a doctor that come in that was super excited about doing the surgery. I want my brain surgeon to be like, I've done this surgery a million times. It is so boring that I know what to do. I definitely don't want the brain surgeon saying, you know what, this is going to be fun. I've never done this before. So embracing the grind. I like to say the people that master repetitious boredom win, because that's what's going to take throughout next year. Social media, all that stuff is fun, but the people that are doing really good in social media have a set plan that they're deploying day after day after day. The old school stuff is working. We are doing extremely well calling past clients. I know agents that are going, they're calling for sale by owners, calling expired listings, all the old stuff that we know works that isn't necessarily fun, and you didn't have to do it over the last 5 years. You're going to have a plan that you are working throughout 2024, or you will not be in the business. I've known so many friends of mine, really, really good agents that have gotten out of the business, and they really don't have a big reason for it other than their business just dried up. But the longer someone's been in the business, the more contacts they have, the more listings they tend to have, they're going to do better. But if you're a newer agent, you have to be willing to grind, because like us in the mortgage business, you tend to work with buyers, right? You don't have as big a reach, and having a daily success plan is what will make the difference. And how you know you have a daily success plan is if you could say it in language to someone and they could hold you accountable. And if you're looking for 2 hacks, 1, find somebody to hold you accountable, get a partner. I have a few that we kind of share our daily success plan so that they can call me out if I'm not on track. And 2, hang out with people that are up to big things, that are doing a lot of business, that kind of stress you out. I was sitting next to a young lady that was in the last mortgage marketing animal seminar I was into that did 70 transactions last month. Most loan officers don't do 70 transactions in a year. And those kind of conversations and being around those people are going to drive you. There's lots of places to do that. We do a class every Tuesday. Actually, in my office, if you're here in Central Florida, we're going to be doing some local classes to get you around agents that are up to big things. Because I think, birds of a feather flock together, to use an old saying. And I think the more we help each other, the better it's going to be. So as more information becomes available that moves the market, as always, I'll cover it here. This is Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker. Hope you enjoy the start to the holidays. But remember, January and February are around the corner. And this is the time to be thinking about how we can crush it next year. Have a great day, great week. I'll talk to you soon.